1995's Ghost in the Shell movie is considered one of the absolute classics of anime, with gorgeous animation, a fantastic sense of atmosphere, and some interesting, deep philosophical discussions. As such, when in 1997 a PS1 game came out based on Ghost in the Shell, companies leapt at the chance to localize it, and when anime fans popped it into their PS1, they were absolutely baffled when this was the entire game. Yeah, that's right, you don't play as the Major, you spend the entire game blowing shit up in a FUCHIKOMA, causing anime fans all over the States to ask the question, the fuck is a FUCHIKOMA? These things weren't anywhere in the friggin' anime, which was most of our only exposure to the friggin' thing. What's more, the answer to the question, the crap is a FUCHIKOMA, was...
Patrol, look, see what I have.
Huh?
The new rookies gave me all these funny little stickers.
Ah, take them off, you moron.
FUCHIKOMA, just do your job and help the rookie.
Yeah! And this thing is the entire focus of the game. Nowhere, absolutely nowhere in the anime were they to be seen. But they are the entire game. Oh yeah, fans of the modern standalone complex anime have probably correctly guessed that yes, the FUCHIKOMAs are the precursors to the Tachikomas. And now they're probably very interested and might find this to be an incredibly interesting and fun game. But back then, we were stumped. This probably would have gone down in history as one of the most disappointing and baffling anime-based games ever made if it wasn't so fucking awesome. I'm not kidding. Ghost in the Shell on PS1 is a fantastic game. Apparently the people who made Jumping Flash put this together. And yeah, it's basically a tank game. You use the D-pad to turn and move forward and back. You use L1 and R1 to strafe left and right. Square shoots, X jumps, circle throws bombs, and you can hit select to switch to a first-person view. The big twist to the game being the fact that the FUCHIKOMA can cling to any surface, allowing you to easily walk up walls, hang from ceilings, etc. It's a very basic game in terms of controls, but it works phenomenally well. Alright, yeah, the fact that you strafe faster than you move normally is a little bit weird and would probably make speedruns kind of silly, and the lack of a targeting sight is definitely odd, but it really works. The thing I really have to applaud is the charge mechanic. Holding square allows you to lock onto enemies and fire homing missiles at them. However, you cannot hold this charge. You'll hold it for a little bit, but then it dissipates. This is incredibly important, because otherwise people would just run around holding a full charge and firing missiles anytime they got a lock on. But without that, they have to actually, intentionally choose when they want to fire their lock-on missiles, and many times when you're dealing with single targets, it would be faster to just use the machine gun, meaning that the machine gun isn't made obsolete. The game is incredibly fast-paced, spanning 12 missions. It's almost arcade-style in nature. You get a mission, then a briefing, then the next mission, then a quick briefing, then the next mission, then a quick briefing, then the next mission. One after another after another. Yeah, there are anime cutscenes, but they are short and sweet and to the point. The game moves at a phenomenally fast pace. The load times are nearly non-existent, and each stage is surprisingly varied. The first mission, for example, has you looking for 3 stronger enemies to destroy in order to get key codes that would get you into the boss room. The next mission takes place in the sewer, having you navigate a maze and deal with confined spaces. Later stages involve some on-rails chase shooting. There's a stage where you have to defuse bombs within the time limit, and so on. The main mission mode keeps things varied and interesting without ever changing the core mechanics like some other games do. There aren't any stupid stealth segments shoehorned in here or sudden changes to the controls. It always plays like Ghost in the Shell normally does, but the missions themselves are what's varied. However, as a kid, I really didn't give a crap about mission mode. For me, it was all about training mode. Yes, training mode. There's a training area where you run around blowing up targets, and you're judged based on how fast you can act, what your accuracy is, how far you can make it in the training mode, etc., etc. It's rather difficult to get a high ranking in training mode, and it really does keep you on your toes. This may well be one of the most challenging aspects of the game, is trying to get a good rank in this mode. So why did I like it so darn much? Well, yeah, depending on how well you did, depending on what rank you got and how you got it, that would determine which of 10 different anime cutscenes you would see. Many of them quite silly.
Don't try to stop me. I'm doing this operation. Get out of my way. Let go of me, I say, please.
Doctor! Take a piece of that thing! I said missiles approaching! Let's get out of here! I'm coming right at us! Run! The things are
You'll have to prove to us that you've got some guts.
It's at this point you've probably noticed that the tone of the game is quite a bit different from any of the anime. It's far sillier. The characters are way more expressive. It's more lighthearted and fun. Really, it's more reminiscent of Tank Police than it is Ghost in the Shell. This probably has something to do with the fact that Masamune Shirow was directly involved in the creation of the game, even penning the game's original plot, which, yeah, it doesn't have anything deep or philosophical in it. It's basically just bam, bam, mission, explosions, go, go, go. This game really isn't so much about exploring the world of Ghost in the Shell so much as it is tagging along with the team as they go on one of their many missions, and it's a bigger than normal mission. But he was directly involved. It makes it an interesting side story. It probably explains the massive tonal difference in this game. I'm pretty certain Masamune Shirow had more to do with this game than he did with any of the anime. I also really need to talk about the animation, which is absolutely gorgeous. You see, this was back when digital painting was something fresh and new, and not a lot of people had access to it or were doing it. So giving this to a team of Japanese animators with a decent budget who were used to coloring things by hand, they went all in. I've never seen coloring like this in animation anywhere else. Their use of gradients and really fancy coloring techniques, honestly, it kind of looks like an American comic from the 90s, the way it's colored, except smoothly and gorgeously animated. It's a darn shame this thing is on PS1, where there's all this JPEG artifacting getting in the way, because I would really love to see some of these anime cutscenes in full DVD, Blu-ray, whatever quality, because this game looks fantastic. It's also worth noting that the entire animation style more closely resembles Masamune Shirow's artwork than it does any of the actual anime, even though it comes from Production IG, the studio that's done all of the Ghost in the Shell anime, from the original to the most recent ones. Overall, Ghost in the Shell on PS1 is a good game. Yeah, if you want to more deeply explore the world of Ghost in the Shell, or play as one of the actual characters from the Ghost in the Shell series rather than a nameless, faceless rookie in a Fuchikoma, you'll probably be disappointed. But if you wanted to experience the action of going on a mission with these characters, or you just want a good arcadey blow-stuff-up tank game, this is a good game. You don't even need to like or be familiar with the anime to enjoy this. In fact, it might be beneficial if you weren't familiar with the anime, due to how different this game is. Ghost in the Shell is good stuff. It's a PS1 game that stands the test of time. The graphics are dated now, yes, but they don't look eye-searing the way other 3D PS1 games do now. And it plays fantastic. Simplistic in its controls, but more than effective. And definitely enjoyable. I give the game a 4 out of 5 and definitely recommend it if you happen to stumble across a copy. Don't pay too much, but it's good stuff and well worth at least a 20-25 bucks. Anyway, this is Gel, and you've been GameBabble. See ya.
Also, I'd like to dedicate this episode to the memory of an old friend of mine, Stephen Goldberg, who passed away somewhat recently in a plane crash in Puerto Rico. Admittedly, I hadn't spoken to him since, 6th grade. However, I literally cannot play this game without remembering all the fun times we had together trying to unlock all the different training mode cutscenes, and also remembering how much better he was at the game than me. I still remember the fun times we had.